All right, left, right, left nation. Hopefully, y'all can see me. Welcome for episode 8 of VMAD Veterans Making a Difference. First, before I get started with tonight's guest, I just want to remind everybody all proceeds from the podcast get donated to the Amphibious Tractor Memorial. My partners, last year, we were able to donate $2,418. If you'd like to please help a brother out, help a community out, press those subscribes, watch content, all those good things, and help grow the channel and check it out when able. Okay, that's it for the friggin' admin. Let's go. I got my brother on the other end of the line over there. He is an active duty staff sergeant, currently on maternity leave. So his baby that he's watching right now might be joining the live show here for a little bit, and that's all good. But the reason why I chose him is because in 2023 he is a combat instructor, and he shielded a student Marine from a grenade blast when the Marine froze up, and he's going to tell you all the details about how that happened. Ultimately, he was awarded the Navy and Marine Corps Medal, which is the highest award for heroism in a non-combat environment. Hey, everybody, welcome my Texas brother over on the other side, Mr. Staff Sergeant Brett Meil. Welcome aboard, brother.
Thanks, Mark. It's great to be here. It's great to be a part of the show. Love your content. Got to catch up and watch some of it. It's great. Definitely, gets the motivation flowing. So very thankful for what you do on your end.
Thanks, man. Hey, so I just try to silver fox it and be the best retired star sergeant I can. And I appreciate, guys like you continue to carry that torch of freedom, man. It's awesome. All right, man.
Thank you.
Before we get into the main topic of your award, your USO Marine of the Year 2024, all that good stuff. Give everybody a little bit about your background, please.
Yeah. So big things growing up, in the state of Texas, a lot of things are huge, which football is one of them. It's a cult down there. Like the football is a second religion, and growing up, so I had to be a part of it, and that kind of set the basis of wanting to be a part of a team. And then as I was graduating high school, my collegiate dreams kind of fell through. Didn't have the grades. Did not apply myself in school like I probably should have. And my recruiter kind of picked apart my dreams like they do, and he was like, "Hey, the Marine Corps is great." I was like, "Let's do it." That and some Chick-fil-A won me over. So back in 2016, went to boot camp in MCRD San Diego, and from there, took on and did the infantry thing.
Everything else took off from there, right, brother?
Yes, sir.
You didn't even have to use the benefit tags on you or play any Jedi mind tricks, nothing, huh?
No, just some Chick-fil-A.
Your recruiter's wet dream, man. I'm telling you.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Good stuff. All right, man. So you enlisted to be an infantryman. Before you got to be a combat instructor, can you just give everybody a quick walkthrough about your time as an infantryman in the fleet?
Yeah, absolutely. So went to SOI West, where now I currently work, and got to do the infantry training there. And then my first unit was Trinity, so 3rd Battalion, 3rd Marines. Got to live it up in Hawaii, do 2 UDPs. Luckily enough, those UDPs kind of got to explore a little bit. Got to supplement a Murph D, and got to do Cobra Gold and all of the go to Korea, do the whole Korea thing, and it was a blast. Those 2 deployments were a lot of fun, and working with that interoperability throughout all of the Asian, the Pacific area theater, and it was great there. And then from there, decided I wasn't ready to get out yet, so I did the reenlistment for 0365, which was a squad leader. I was like, hey, I like the squad leader gig. I've been doing it since I was a Lance Corporal. I was like, let's keep doing it. Got orders of 1-1 because I heard that they were doing something other than a UDP, so I was like, let's do it. So I got to do the 11th MU back in 2023 or 2022. Apologies. And from there, I got to train with the Israelis, got to go to Oman, Yemen, got to do a whole bunch of cool stuff. So, definitely got more of the world tourism out of that deployment. And then PCS'd over to be a combat instructor, and from there, that's where I've been.
And that sounds like it was the right place for you to land. So for everybody's SA, situational awareness, School of Infantry, there's a West Coast and East Coast, and there's other units that fall underneath it. You got a Marine Combat Training Battalion, an Infantry Training Battalion, Advanced Infantry Training Battalion, a Headquarters Battalion. You got the Combat Instructor School, all kinds of stuff. It's a very, very large organization. But tell everybody a little bit about what you did, what you are doing at the School of. Oh man, hey, thanks. Welcome to the live stream, brother. Your son. Congratulations, by the way, dude.
Oh, thank you. That's
awesome. Hey, welcome aboard too. Please tell everybody a little about your time at SOI East, please.
So here at SOI West, we've been, we did the IMC thing, which was a whole new way of trying to like teach and train Marines. We figured out logistically, it's kind of hard to support, which is unfortunate. So we're slowly transitioning to like kind of a mesh of how we used to do things and the IMC thing, and we're just trying to, really figure out the next generation of infantrymen. Because obviously, you can fight wars by other means, but I think the ultimate way to win a war is with the people on the ground and the blood, the blood sacks that we are. But as a combat instructor at SOI at IMC, you're a squad leader, so you get your when I started, it was like 16. Now I think it's 1 to 20. You get your Marines, and you are responsible for teaching them and having them become like a mirror image of what you are as an infantryman. So obviously, you want to make sure your brothers back in the fleet have the best product that they can have. So you don't put your name tag on a Marine that's not the greatest. So you try to hold that standard and try to teach them, give them all of what you can give, and then do it that way.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. Pay it forward. I did some time at School of Infantry East, and there's nothing better than watching, the NCOs and staff NCOs, pour the small, things that are added value into their toolkit outside of just the period of instruction. And you guys work wonders over there, and the fleet usually very, very happy with what you guys turn over to them, man. So thanks for what you do.
Yeah, thanks. We definitely appreciate it. I know we just became an SDA again, so now we're going to start getting some more bodies over there, which is much needed because we got some tired instructors, but we're still putting in the work.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with all that stuff, man. One of the reasons I'm glad I'm retired.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you're on your second class. Let me just kind of set it up for everybody, and you can dial it in. You're on your second class as an instructor, and you are a grenade pit NCO, and for those who are unfamiliar, all the students throw at least one grenade, and it can be a little bit, for the guys who are unfamiliar with weapons and stuff, it can be a very nerve-wracking experience for a young 17, 18-year-old man or woman. It can be, and an incident happened, man, and I want you to give everybody the details and walk everybody through that.
Yeah. So I was in Pit 4, and then it's a 1-to-1 ratio, so it's you and the student, and unfortunately, he decided to hold on to a grenade, and it was, no fault of his own, fight, flight, or freeze. He just happened to freeze. So I actually had the Marine in the training pits. So you throw these practice blue bodies prior to, and he actually threw all 3 very well with me. And I was like, all right, cool. Very confident with this Marine. And when I saw him come to the pit, I was like, oh, this should be easy. It's just like the practice. But when he got in the pit, we were the 4th to throw because we were Pit 4. And he heard the 3 booms go. He stood up and he prepped his grenade backwards. And then when he went to thumb clip sweep it off, the spoon dislodged and hit him in the chest, and he froze from there. He tried to pick up the spoon at one point, and my right arm went to the center of his chest or his flak to pick him up and out of the pit, and then my left arm, after I identified that he saw the grenade in his hand, went to hit the grenade out of his hand, and unfortunately the grenade took an unlucky bounce and bounced out there with us. And luckily I had been watching it. My eyes, if I hadn't been looking at the grenade when it went off, the 2 pieces of shrapnel that are in my nose would have been in my throat. So it would have been a whole lot worse if I hadn't actually seen it, which is good. But ultimately, I had to give it to the grace of God because I was 4 feet away from that grenade, well within the effective kill radius, which is 5 meters or 15 feet. So, it was definitely an eye-opening experience. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just trying to make sure I understand. So the student has the grenade in his hand. He pulls the pin out, and then he drops the grenade.
No. So death, like you have your death grip on it.
Yep.
The spoon's right here.
Yep.
He twist pulled, and then you have a thumb safety that you sweep off. But it should be sweep then pull. But so when he went to sweep it after, because that's the second to last safety, being the spoon being the last one, his thumb moved and the spoon hit him in the chest.
Got it.
And that's what happened.
And he froze, and you're like, oh shit, let me boom.
Yeah, I told him to throw it twice, 3 times, I don't know, a lot. And then he just, unfortunately, in that moment, it's like, 3 seconds. Hope to God that it doesn't go off any sooner.
Yeah. If I recall correctly, it's like 3 to 5 seconds. That's what we
Yep.
say.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Yeah. So you swept him out the way. Did you grab him, and then did you throw him in the corner? And I know that was over. How did that?
So the short wall in the pit, my right arm, I like had him up in the air, and I took him over the short wall of the pit, and then as he was going over the wall, I hit the grenade trying to get it into the pit, which the shrapnel wouldn't have hit us at all if that would have been the case. And it would have just been an angry combat instructor on top of a private. But he, the grenade just happened to be traveling too far with us. We had too much momentum going out of the pit, and it came with us. And that's that. So like there's like a corner, like the evidence, and you could see all the shrapnel in the pit 4 wall. So it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And from what I read, you were able to get like most of your body over his, and I know you absorbed some shrapnel.
Yeah. 26 pieces of shrapnel, I think. I covered him completely, or at least for the most part. So we were kind of like horizontal, like not perpendicular, like diagonal from the grenade. So like the closest part to the grenade was our legs. So that probably also played another fact of why I didn't, end up getting it, which was fine. It's great. So just, the shrapnel definitely could have impacted my body way worse. I'm a bigger guy. I'm like right around 230 pounds. So, it's a good thing I was as big as I was, because the one piece of shrapnel, my biggest piece of shrapnel was like less than a millimeter away from my femoral. And then another piece of shrapnel impacted and almost cut my IT band. So I could have been out for like a year, but I fortunately was only out for like 6 months.
Wow. Tell everybody a little bit about like the extent of your injuries, as far as like how many staples, stitches, all that stuff, please.
So I only got like 3 or 4 staples in the biggest hole in my leg, and that was it. Everything else was just kind of washed away. And I guess the worst part has been my a TBI that I issued, and I'm still working through everything that goes with TBIs, memory, balance, all the fall stuff. So those were like the 2 biggest impacts to me. I couldn't walk for like a month, just because pain and body healing. But
wow, man, thank you. Were there any injuries to the private?
I think he may have taken 1 piece of shrapnel, 1 or 2. I don't think he took very much, if at all. He was up before I was, and then my adjacent combat instructors actually, took care of him. So,
yeah, and I know that I know you were probably upset. Like I said, I used to lead combat instructors as a first sergeant, and they'd get pretty upset about boneheaded mistakes and things like that. But has he reached out to you at all?
He has, since that article, one of the articles came out, because I was asked that question in an interview. And he hadn't. And then after, I think the Task and Purpose article came out, he DM'd me on Instagram, like thanking me. And I was like, okay. I was like, you know what? I appreciate it. I had seen him a few times because he got dropped from our class for fighting, because he was getting bullied, because every other private was like, dude, you blew up an instructor, which, privates are going to do. But he's a good kid at heart. And, I told him, I was like, hey man, you're here now for a reason. Like, there's a reason we're both still alive. You got to be the best Marine, man. You got to be better than me now. You have to. If he's taking that to heart, I don't know. I think he's in one of the 4th Battalion Marines out here, 14224. I'm not sure. But I hope he's doing well. I don't talk to him very often. That's trauma I don't need to revisit every day. So
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. I can.
No, I got you.
Understand. Yeah, I'm sure he appreciates it. I mean, Brett, you at least you at a minimum saved him from serious, severe injuries, potentially even losing his life. So I'm sure that, yeah, I don't know if he knows how to express it, but I'm certain that he's probably very grateful that you were in the pit with him that day.
Hmm. Yeah,
Thanks a
I
lot for your quick thinking. Your quick thinking, your quick action. Because that could have went really bad.
yeah, for sure. And once again, like I'm very grateful I reacted the way I did because I could have froze up just like him, and we both would be standing there, or we wouldn't be, standing anymore. But
Yeah,
um,
right.
I'm very fortunate as well, and I can't help but thank like my fellow combat instructors, Staff Sergeant Villainy and Staff Sergeant Brummett. I shouted them out in my medal recipient as well. Like they literally saved my life. The corpsman that day was subpar. He since then has not been reinstated as a live fire corpsman. Dude had snacks in his bag, his med bag. So it's like
Oh man.
he came with like one piece of gauze and patted me, and my other instructor was like, "I got it. Stay the fuck away." And yeah,
Damn.
it was pretty brutal. And then Sergeant Brummett carried me like 75 up feet and like another like 100 feet, and like Sergeant Brummett's not exactly a big guy, and so like I'm just sitting there just getting carried. Who I served in 3-3 with him, and he's one of my like really good friends now. So, or he's always been, but
Yeah.
closer obviously now. But
No, I appreciate you sharing those details because the folks that watch it, there's always a lesson behind an incident. So those things matter. So all you corpsmen out there, it's you got to be prepared, man. There
yeah,
ain't no time because it can happen. Brett will attest. And we had
yeah,
one incident when I was at SOI East where a combat instructor had an incident with a grenade too, and luckily they got it out the pit, but it was
hmm
could have got real ugly. So yeah, man. So subsequently, you are put in for a Navy and Marine Corps Medal, the highest award for heroism in a non-combat environment. You're the second Marine that I've ever seen with one on their chest. Second one. That's a
I
very so you're talking some tall cotton, some very rare company.
yeah, I'm very lucky. My command has been has been excellent. I cannot you know praise their thanks or praise them enough. They gave me all the time I needed to recover. They said, "You just get better, and then we'll see it work when you get back." And
Yeah.
they didn't push anything. They didn't push anything. They made sure I got the appropriate care that I needed, which is Intrepid Spirit, which is the TBI clinic here on base.
Yes. Yes.
They're
Yes.
amazing. If any veterans are out there, if you guys can get into a session, I don't know if it's active duty only or not, but like they do everything from vestibular to regular therapy, sleep therapy, nutritional therapy. They're great. I think there was one on the East Coast as well. Like they're miles above any kind of treatment. Like without them, I would be a shell of who I would be or am now. So
Yeah.
very thankful for that. Like they hooked it up, and then Lieutenant Colonel Harmon, he wrote both. Or had me recommended for both the Navy Marine Corps Medal, and then he put me up for the USO Marine of the Year award, which were fantastic things. Like I never would have got to experience anything like that. I was never even in DC in my life, and then got a free trip out there to hang out with some pretty cool people. So
Yeah. That's amazing, Brett. I think a lot of times, because a lot of us do social media and we look through it, or you only hear the stories about all the toxic things that are going on and the bad things that are going on. And, and just you speaking about your leadership and your chain of command, it's refreshing to hear that I believe that probably 90 to 95% of the commands out there are doing a really good job for their Marines, and they're putting a lot into them, and they're, making sure that they get the recognition, the awards, the care that they're supposed to be getting.
yeah, for sure.
It's great, man. I'm glad that your experience was really, really well.
Yeah, as I said, like I've had really bad commands in my time in, and I'm very
Yeah,
thankful for the command I've
same,
had. So
same. But when I reflect, upon a lengthy career, I always most of them were pretty good. So
mhm,
most of them
yeah.
were. In addition to, were you also recognized as SOI West Combat Instructor of the Year as well? Is that correct or
Uh,
no?
I don't know. I don't remember receiving anything like that. I don't think so.
Okay, then I fibbed. I thought I saw
Yeah,
that somewhere. Okay,
I may
okay,
I may have. I have no idea.
okay. All right.
I don't really recall that part, but who knows? I
Yeah.
mean, I guess I could look back, but
You know, it's what's interesting is that you've pretty much set yourself up to to easily probably go as far as you want to go in the enlisted ranks with your performance, with your attitude, with your spirit, your energy, all those things. You've like checked all the boxes that a staff sergeant's supposed to check to go really really far. But what is your future plan if you're okay with sharing it?
Yeah, of course. Originally, before, as you've heard, my little one, my plan was to do the ECP package. I'm actually 4 weeks out from receiving my bachelor's degree. But
Congratulations.
thanks. Yeah. But my son, I decided I didn't want to be that dad that deploys, and more power to all of you guys that have and did do it. It's just not, kind of where I saw myself as a father. So I'm actually attempting to become an Orange County Sheriff's Deputy. I just last Saturday did the DST, which is nothing compared to a PFT. That's a 1.5 mile run, some push-ups and some sit-ups. But the biggest thing is I still wanted to serve. I wanted to find a capacity where I could still serve, and it definitely opens that door for me. And my wife works for the department as well, so without her being there as well, like that incident happened 11 days after our wedding, which was crazy. And she's been super strong through it all, and without her, I would be a shell of a man, so she was there, and she's kind of been supporting me in anywhere I needed to go. So definitely thankful for her. So shout out to my wife.
Oh man, I love hearing that. I love hearing that. A lot of times you hear all the stories of dudes shitting on their wives, and this. I love hearing it, man. Love it. That's great. So could be husband and wife, future deputies.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing. That's really good. I'm positive that it's all going to work out for you, man.
I appreciate it.
You're tenacious, and you're probably like a dog with a bone in your mouth when you're like you're not going to let go until you get it done. So that's awesome. That's cool, man. I think we're about wrapped up over here, and I know I got to turn you to on Liberty because you are on maternity leave, and I graciously appreciate your time and you carving out some space, to talk with me and talk with the nation here tonight. So before we do that, though, I'd like to throw it over to you, for any shout outs, save rounds, anything you'd like to pass on, wisdom. You got a couple minutes, man. It's all yours. Go ahead.
Okay, I appreciate it. First thing I would thank you for having me. It's been awesome, and very, very thankful for the opportunity to speak. I'd say if I have any words of wisdom, I talked about him earlier with you, First Sergeant Okada. He gave me some words of advice that in my earlier years at SOI that kind of stuck with me, and I kind of have applied them to my life. And you have to do your best to leave your work at work, and so you can be who you want to be at home. So Marine 24/7 for sure, but when you come home, like be the husband, the father, the brother that you need to be. So he always had this thing of like, if we showed up to work and if he was there like after us or before us, and we didn't show up in civvies, he'd kind of get onto us a little bit. He's like, hey, why are you wearing your work clothes home? Just trying to be that good first sergeant and really kind of mentor us the right way. And he's been awesome. And I still contact and talk to him to this day. He's helping me transition out as well. So can't ask for much more from senior leadership. So very, very thankful for that.
Yeah, man. He's trying to decompress you, and you're right about that. And I'll tie it up here that when I was a drill instructor, you can't be that way when you're at home. You have to like decompress, and you got to take that time to like, okay, turn that switch, and be the husband that your wife and your son need, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's really important. Yeah, sometimes they don't need the damn gunnery sergeant or the staff sergeant. They need the Brett. For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Hey man, I appreciate so a number of things. Huge congratulations, on your son, buddy. Thank you for joining the live stream tonight. I appreciate you. Congratulations on your award. Congratulations, on being recognized as the 2024 USO Marine of the Year. That's awesome. And then as you transition out, I know that you're gonna have a lot of success, man. I really look forward to following your journey. Okay.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna need you to hang on here for about 5 seconds so I can upload your track. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed Brett sharing his story tonight. He is a hero, and I tell you, I'm grateful that he's still on active duty, you know, and grateful that he's able to mentor all these young lads before he gets out. Brett, thanks for what you do. Everybody,
Appreciate you.